politics and what can happen there. I think the US election, it could be quite fascinating for us. Not because of what typically through an election period, what happens, certain sectors do well, but it's about volatility, and it's probably about trying to stay invested through it, is the challenge. What I think could be interesting from a market perspective for the US election is what happens in terms of control of the Senate, control of the House. We know where the Democrats are today in terms of controlling the House. If they could get control of the Senate, well, that would be an opportunity for, presuming it would be a Democratic president, they could have quite an interesting policy agenda that could come forward. It could be completely the other way, and we could have a situation where Trump is re-elected, with the consequences that could have for the structure of both House and the Senate. So there's quite sort of fascinating things that could be happening there from a policy perspective. And why do I think policy and regulation is interesting? If we go back to last week, we had Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and a couple of other CEOs testifying to Congress about their businesses. And if we think about risks to some of those business models, maybe it is regulatory, and the change in the political landscape in the US could have ramifications for that. So that's something that I think we as market participants have to be aware of, and just how that politics starts to play out over the coming weeks.
Yeah, lots of moving parts certainly over the next few months. Now, I suppose, Chris, just to kind of draw that bit to a close, then I guess diversification is the name of the game always, but it feels to me, I don't know about you, you're obviously much closer to these things. It feels like there's more issues, if you like, at play than ever before than usual. So diversification, definitely the name of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think there's ever been what I would describe as a calm time in respect of political risk, stock market risk, economic risk, or however you'd like to call it. But the reality is, there is uncertainty out there right now. We all know it. The fact that we're doing this from home is a kind of key example of that, and how that plays out moving forward is incredibly important. And the key positioning for investors is to be diversified. The reality is no one knows with any certainty what will happen in the future. And the key way to be invested through that is diversified, multi-asset, through a mixture of different assets in different regions, different currencies, and particularly with True Potential. I'm going to give the True Potential portfolios a little bit of a plug, but also with manager diversification as well. That for me is really key moving forward.